Hey everybody, it's Mike. I recently returned from a trip to the American Southwest, hiked rim to rim across the Grand Canyon, and capped things off by visiting a few places in Zion National Park, including Angel's Landing. The first time that I summited Angel's Landing was roughly 10 years ago, and I've repeated the trek several times since then. This trail is always a thrill, but the experience has changed pretty dramatically over the years. The popularity of Angel's Landing has led to a phenomenon that I like to call flash crowding. Think flash flood, but with people instead of water. On the day I shot this video, our hike along the chain section was passable enough. Yes, as is typical, there were lots of people stacked up at the start of the chain section. But as we hiked further, more and more people turned back, as is typically the case, and the crowds thinned. It was rare to encounter a large cluster of hikers, and log jams, when they happened, were cleared relatively easily. But just a few hundred yards before reaching the summit, things changed. And they changed drastically. It began with a trickle, just a few hikers scrambling down from the summit. Then there were dozens, and before we knew it, dozens became hundreds. Keep on thinking that there'll just be one or two more people.
Right.
Not a problem. We're fortunate there aren't too many people right behind us right now. If you guys need to grab an arm, feel free. Better to feel a little socially awkward for a moment than fall. The footage here was captured in late fall, during what a few years ago would have been called the off-season. But nowadays, Zion National Park, and specifically Angel's Landing, are suffering under the burden of rampant internet fame. I know where the summit's at, it's just...
You know where it is.
It's swimming upstream, that's the problem. There's been a tragic acceleration of fatal falls from Angel's Landing over the last few years. There we go. And given concerns regarding crowding and hiker safety, the Park Service is implementing a permit system for the final approach to the summit to take effect in 2022.
We just got one more behind me.
That's fantastic news. Yes. I think you're about the 200th person.
Yeah. Thanks for waiting.
Hey, we're fine waiting. There's no reason to rush up here.
Yeah, that's for sure.
There are already a number of permits required for various hiking and canyoneering routes in Zion National Park, and only time will tell how effective this new permit system is. But having seen the growing popularity of Angel's Landing, it's clear something needs to be done.
I am not Spider-Man.
It's all right.
Okay.
I won't hold it against you.
Alright.
All right. Hey.
Maybe you can have the chain.
Yeah, we're pretty close. So normally when hiking, uphill traffic typically has the right of way, but Angel's Landing requires greater flexibility. With no one behind us, we chose to yield the right of way to downhill traffic. With park visitation at record levels, people often picture an endless line of hikers crawling over each other along the full length of the chain section. But in truth, there are normally breaks in the crowds throughout the day. It's actually quite possible to reach the chains during a lull and falsely conclude you have the place almost to yourself, only to get caught in a flash crowd while navigating a knife's edge with cliffs taller than the Empire State Building on either side. Nowadays, hiking Angel's Landing is just as much a social exercise as it is a physical exercise. Communication, respect, courtesy, and patience are all key to the enjoyment and safety of everyone attempting to complete this iconic trail. Regardless of conditions when you arrive, it's critically important to mentally prepare for crowding along the trail. Nowadays, it's common to see hikers texting, video chatting, and posting to social media while still atop Angel's Landing. It wasn't always this way, but it illustrates what's driving the popularity of places like Zion, and specifically Angel's Landing. More than anything, word of mouth, either in person or in social media, is feeding Zion's feverish fame. In addition to leaving no trace and being courteous and polite to others, please be careful what you share. Social media is the cause of lots of problems in our parks and public lands right now. But if used responsibly, social media can, and honestly needs to be, part of the solution to these problems. All right, and with that, I'm going to call it for today. If you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe. And if you found this video helpful, then make sure to hit that like button. And stay tuned. We've got more Zion and Grand Canyon videos coming, including our Rim to Rim guide and the lies people tell about Angel's Landing. Stay safe, and we'll see you on the trails.